Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. I'm super late today. Apologies, but here's why. Okay. Let me see if I can get this in here. This is what I've been doing tonight. I am not a creative person, okay? I am not an artist, but this was a lot of fun. So, that's why I'm so late tonight. I met some friends tonight at the art bar. Yeah, it's called the Art Bar, where apparently you can drink. I didn't drink, but my friends drank and painted. And had I drank, who knows what it would look like? It'd probably be better. But so yeah, that was my fun. But here's my story for the week. So it's interesting. I got done at the Art Bar, and I then went to Target for my weekly shopping spree on Sunday. Right? It was a little later than normal, but I heard a rerun of a story that I heard earlier in the week. And the story was This American Life on NPR, and it was a story about random acts of kindness. And this kid years ago was standing outside a theater in New York City. Didn't really get the whole story, but he was standing up front of this theater, and he was there for a spelling bee or something. And some guy randomly came up to him. They started talking. He gave him $200 and said, "Go see Sweeney Todd. It's a musical on Broadway, right? Go see Sweeney Todd. It'll change your life." And so this kid's like, "Dude, I can't take $200 from you." And he's like, "Let me at least buy you an ice cream cone." So this kid bought this guy an ice cream cone. They took a photo together. That was 15 years ago. Fast forward to today, that random act of kindness. The kid went to see Sweeney Todd. He was contemplating moving from Utah, where he was a Mormon in the Mormon church, to New York City, but he couldn't really make that decision. After seeing Sweeney Todd, he made the leap, he made the jump, and he is now a star on Broadway. And what's interesting is, 15 years ago when he saw Sweeney Todd, apparently Patti LuPone was in that musical playing the tuba, right, as part of her character. He saw Patti LuPone on Broadway playing the tuba. Now he is starring in a musical on Broadway next to Patti LuPone. All of that because this guy gave him $200, which encouraged him to move from Utah to New York City. Random act of kindness. So one of the other things, I'm going to ramble. I could ramble, I'm sorry. But the other thing that he said that I thought was really interesting in this story was the guy was apparently gay. And I didn't know that when listening to the whole story, but he was apparently gay in Utah. And he made a comment he said, they were asking him why it was such a big deal that this guy gave him this $200 and going to Sweeney Todd changed his life. And he said, when you spend your whole life being a part of something, the Mormon church, which is what he was a part of his whole life, he said, when you leave something that you've been a part of your whole life, it's hard to think that you can ever believe in anything again. And that just hit me. Like, I can imagine how difficult that was for him. And that guy gave him something to believe in. Super interesting. So then they interviewed the guy who he finally reconnected with this guy 15 years later. They reconnected over FaceTime because he posted something on Instagram and somebody knew the guy. This is social media. We all berate it, right? We think it's stupid sometimes, but it connects people. And he reconnected with this guy. And so the storyteller on NPR interviewed the guy who gave him this $200. And it turns out that years before that, he had planned a trip to Europe with a friend of his. And the two of them were going to stay at this friend's house of this friend of a friend in Europe, in Italy. And when he got there, this friend dropped him, left, didn't show up, whatever. And the kid, the guy who gave him $200, had nowhere to stay. So he was staying in these expensive hotels. Well, he met these two guys one of his first nights, and he called them and he said, "Hey, do you guys know of a cheap hostel where I can stay? My friend, left me and I don't know what to do." They invited him to stay at their house for 10 days. They gave him keys to their house in Italy. Strangers, just met them in a bar the night before. Strangers, they gave this kid a key to their house in Italy. They're Italian guys that lived in Italy, gave him keys, let him come and go as he pleased. Random act of kindness. That's amazing. And it changed him because they said, "Why did you do this?" And he told that story and said, That moment changed me into the person I am today. The person who gives random people $200. Okay. That was my week. And then, so earlier tonight, before I heard the rerun of this story coming home from Target, I got a call from a real estate agent. I sold my sister's house about a year ago, a little over a year ago now. In fact, it's been about a little just over a year ago. They just had their 1 year anniversary. She sold her house, and long story short, the agent that represented the buyer of my sister's house that I sold for her called me and said, hey, my buyers, the people who bought your sister's old house, somebody delivered her purse to their house tonight. So long story short, my sister was at the Red River Valley Fair, and she dropped her purse somewhere. And her wallet was in there with her license, and it had her old address on it. She hadn't updated her home address on her driver's license. So the people who found, that's crazy. The people who found her purse delivered it to her old address. The people at her old address called their agent, who called me, who called my sister. Don't tell me there's not good people in this world. So that's my whole point. Oh my gosh, there's so much love and so much kindness happening around us. And I think we forget to look. It's just like joy. Joy is there, but we sometimes forget to look. So damn it, excuse my language, look. That's all I got. Happy Sunday. Have a great week, everyone. Love, love.